I love to use cranberries too, because it is another sort of native fruit. And I love the idea of kind of expanding what we do with those fruits, because cranberry, one of those things that we only have in the US at Thanksgiving, and I'm like, this is an amazing fruit with the most incredible flavor. And like, why don't we bake more with this? So it's been fun to use those in more places and to try to encourage people to have them more. It's difficult though, because you can really only buy them fresh around Thanksgiving, but it's like buy
Yeah.
frozen. Those are great too.
Yeah, and I was thinking that actually earlier when you were talking about sour cherries, because I think, and I talk about this in both my books, but like freezing always gets such a bad rap. And it's like, but oftentimes, because especially with sour cherries, they just don't make it to the market very well.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
hard, they're so delicate. And so the best thing that you can do with them really is to like harvest and freeze them. And then they're
Mhm.
like at their best. And you can buy them like that. So I think it's definitely like yeah, that I think we should bring back, or de-shame like the frozen fruit section. I think that you could
Yeah.
do a lot with
I
that.
give I give a lot of tips in the book for, if you can't find this, use frozen. And I totally agree with you. And I think it's an important tool for baking, because not only with sour cherries, like, are they so delicate, and so that's often the best thing you can do with them, but from a sort of technique perspective, it's really helpful to have them frozen if you're making sour cherry pie, because they are so incredibly juicy that the second you mix them with sugar, it draws out all the juices and you end up with like they're swimming in liquid, right? And so it's like so helpful to have them frozen, because it increases your work time if you're building a lattice or whatever, and you're not getting the juices on the pastry. And, so it can be really helpful. And here we can find really high quality frozen wild Maine blueberries. And it's like, I'm a lot more, it's just easier, it's just so convenient. So I'm a lot more likely to use frozen blueberries than fresh, just because they're always available. And frozen fruit is a great tool for baking. It really is.
Like, it's like I always say to use them frozen for muffins, too. It's
Yep.
like, then you like, coat them with a little bit of flour or whatever, like in the mix, put it in the dry first and then add your liquid. And then it's like, you don't have purple muffins.
Right. Right.
But no, I think definitely, frozen berries for pies is a great thing to do. Like I would always put them on trays, freeze them, and then put them into Ziploc or whatever container you want to
Right.
use. Um, and then, yeah, you can just like build it up and then put the pastry on, right? Instead of like
Right.
having your soup or yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and it keeps the pastry cold, which is great. So if you're doing this in summer and it's hot in your kitchen, it actually is like it's helping you out. So like I don't know, and I think the quality of the frozen fruit you can find at the grocery store is also, I think, better now than it used to be. So there's a fun product that I see here a lot by the same brand that makes the frozen wild Maine blueberries, is like the brand is called Wyman's of Maine, and they do a mix of sour and sweet cherry, frozen, pitted. And
right.
it's like it's so nice. It's like such a great, it's sort of a luxury. It comes already pitted. So yeah, it's like it's a fun area to discover as a baker. If for bakers out there, like, go peruse the frozen fruit section, see what you can find.
One of my favorite things to do is like go into different, like when I'm traveling, I'm always like going to the grocery stores and seeing like what's in there.
Yeah.
It's always like, really? We're going in here? I'm like, yep.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what kind of things they have. And I love it. It's so interesting culturally, like what people, value
Yep.
with like it's incredible to me. Love it.